We're constantly talking about what stuff to get out in the wild, but have you ever looked in your just front yard? I'm in Alaska and it's only been sunny for a couple weeks, and these are spruce tips. This is what you can pick to get your vitamin C in the spring. Historically, sailors even use this for long sea hauls to not get scurvy. And see, the little fresh green tips just pop off really easy. But let's see what else we have just in the front yard. There's always green onions everywhere. We've got some dandelions. There's some right there. Plantains. There's always plantains. Oh, rose hips. Right here is a little rose hip popping out. I don't know. You guys will probably recognize a lot more stuff. I was actually in the store and saw them selling organic dandelion greens. Can you believe that? They're wild. They're in everybody's yard. They're just like everywhere. Anyway, spruce tip, the simplest thing that most people seem to do. I'll have to separate that. You can see the dark with the green. It just pops apart really easy. But it can take quite a bit. But you can see in like 1 minute here, I've got myself a handful. And then I can infuse it, or you can just make a tea, or you infuse it in some simple syrup and then it stays good for a really long time. But I forgot I just forgot the fiddlehead ferns. There's some around here. They're just like popping up everywhere. Alright, I collect some spruce tips. I tried to give them a little rinse here. One little trick is don't put it right into the boiling water. See, it's like bring the water to a boil and then just put it in the water and let them seep for, because if you put it directly into boiling, it breaks down the fragile vitamin C. Let's see, here's one where you have to take the green tip off and then you discard that part. And you want to try to make it so that there's no, bugs and bits of dirt and stuff. If you like, take that out. But I find like if you just give it a shape like this, most of the dust and stuff goes to the bottom. And then you give it a rinse. Now you can do the same thing to make a simple syrup, except you first put a ton of sugar in it, right? So this will be really strong. You don't need that much, but that's just how much I picked. It took me, I don't know, 5 minutes or so to pick it. And spruce tips just cover vitamin C, vitamin A. It's just super healthy. So let's look through it here real quick. Immune support with vitamin C, historic cure. They actually, I don't know if you ever looked this up in history, but people who traveled around, they would get scurvy, and so they would make spruce tea and spruce beer to offset scurvy. I like it because of my bad lungs. It offsets the, clears my congestion, loosen all that stuff, and of course, soothes your sore throat. Very strong in offsetting infection. You know, and they say it's antiseptic, antifungal, antibacterial. So just helps with minor internal stuff. And then of course, you know, oops. After all that talk, I dropped in that one not spruce tip, but yeah, because I mean, if you put this, if you boil it, it tends to release the, I don't know, it's like turpentine. It's like just so this way it'll be light and sensitive. So here, I've only brewed it for 4 minutes. I could pause it here. Let me pause it and then come back in 5 minutes, and so you can see. I guess while we're waiting, I could talk to you about, you know, I just picked these fresh tips, and they quickly turn to not being fresh, like, you know. So the light green one to the dark green one, right? Here, I'm gonna eat. Oh man. Tastes kind of lemony and citrusy, but also, I don't know, they say it has a slight rosemary taste, but I don't think it does. So you can take the ones you picked and you can dry them to store them for later. Of course, you know, wash them, get all the junk off of them. And so you can just, you know, set them out on a baking sheet and dry them out in the air. Mom used to like to put stuff in the car and just, you know, let it cook that way. Cook is the wrong word, but it can get pretty hot in there. And then you can just use them, or if you really wanted to, you could grind them up and have them be a powder. But definitely, if you use a dehydrator, you want to use the lowest setting, like just over 100 degrees, because these are very, very tender. And then once you've dried them, you want to store them in a cool, dark place so it doesn't lose. They say if it's stored in a cool, dark place, it will be good for a year, you know, until the next spruce tips. So you can get your vitamin C through the winter with them. So let's see how much time. So what I like about this one is it's got the little strainer on it. So you can just take the little pot. I really wanted to use this cup because look, it's got mushrooms growing on it. It's like a wood log cup. But then because it's green, you wouldn't see the colors. So I wanted to see here if you could see the color. It's just like a really light green. Now you can see a couple of little twigs made it through, but that's all right because you can eat. I'm one of those ones that when I do my tea, I like to brew it whole leaf and then eat the tea afterwards. It's not, if I'm doing it for medicinal reasons, right? I'm getting the full benefit of the herb. If you ever had green tea, just like your lightest green tea, That's what it tastes like with a little lemon. And it slightly smells like a savory herb, maybe rosemary or thyme. So anyway, definitely don't boil it because it'll release the oils. And then if you brew it for too long, it might start getting bitter too. But that's it. A little bit of wild crafting in the yard. Feeding others is love.